Hello and welcome to today's class. My name's Owen. I'm going to be doing a lot of upper body work today to open through the shoulders, the chest, the back. From our seated position, we're just going to check through the props. It'd be good to use a strap today. Having that in position, that could be a belt or a piece of fabric, having some bricks or books to hand, and a block if we have it. Again, we could use a pillow, we could use anything that's like a rolled up blanket as an example to support. We're going to start off trying to sit up nice and tall. If we find it better, we can sit a bit higher on one of those props, be that a block, a blanket, a pillow, to elevate in the hips, to soften in the hip crease if we feel we need it. This allows us to get a more vertical spine. Then we're going to come into our cow-faced arms pose. So for this, we'll get our strap or belt or fabric that we have to hand. Position ourselves so we have our left hand coming towards the base of the spine, bringing it up towards the shoulder blades. It could be anywhere between the tailbone and the shoulder blades. And the right hand with that strap draping down the back of the hand, we'll lower it down behind the head, possibly even bringing the fingers interlaced in that position. Trying to grab hold of the strap or the hand. Trying to sit up nice and tall, not rounding at all, the neck dropping down. Trying to actively draw that right elbow back, lowering the left shoulder down. If that left shoulder comes up towards the ear, then we may just want to loosen our intensity by holding that strap further down towards the tailbone. As always in Yin Yoga, we want to try and keep the intensity to about 80% of our maximum. So if we find in this pose we go from a sustainable amount of intensity, a comfortable level of discomfort, into pain, into anything sharper or more intense that's beyond just discomfort, then we want to come out of this pose early. If not, it'll be a slightly shorter hold today, just making sure that we're not going too intense as we open up through the shoulders. And just getting ready to come out of this pose. We can just release the hand from the strap or from the opposite hand, bringing our hands down with a bit of a shake at the sides, rolling the shoulders a couple of times forward, a couple of times back. Then placing that strap or fabric or belt in the left hand so that it's draping down the back of that left hand. The right hand comes to the base of the spine, works its way up to the shoulder blades, to our degree, anywhere along the length of the spine. That left hand can then drape the strap down behind the back towards that hand. And we might have a difference here, so if we found we could touch the hands before, doesn't mean we have to this time. Both sides will be significantly different for a lot of us, myself included, and though I am still relatively flexible here, my dominant right arm I find is harder to bring into the position here to the same depth. This is part of the acceptance of our body, part of the acceptance of a pose. And it's not a negative, it's just something we need to be aware of. We still want to draw that left elbow back though and the right shoulder down towards the floor so it's not up by the ear. Be mindful of any intensity that grows beyond discomfort into pain. And trying to sustain within that level of discomfort for as long as possible here for a couple of minutes before we come out of our second cow-faced arms pose. Again, in just a moment, we'll release that right hand from the strap or hand. The left hand can bring that fabric or belt around to the side, our yoga strap, placing that safely to the side for later on. We can sit up nice and tall, shake those arms out, have a bit of a roll in those shoulders again, relaxing through the shoulders. Bit of light movement, never does any harm here. And from there, we'll allow the arms to come out to the sides and we'll cross them over. So my right arm's come over my left. I'm hugging at the shoulders. We might stop here, drawing the elbows up to increase the intensity. Or we could stack the elbows, bringing both hands up towards the sky, trying to hold on to that top hand, so my right hand, with the lower left hand. Trying to grab hold of the thumb or the palm. The higher the elbows here, the more intense it will be in opening up the back of the shoulders. And the more that we rotate that top hand round to the side, the more that's going to intensify it as well. So we can taper it accordingly. We might just stop in that initial hug-like motion where we have the hands on the shoulders. But in our eagle arms here, we might go a bit deeper should it be necessary for us. Get another slightly briefer hold. We can just begin to release that top hand, unraveling the arms, having that roll again of the shoulders, shaking the arms out. Then we'll try and bring the arms into the opposite direction. So this time, for a couple of waves to side to get some movement, I'm going to bring those arms again, but this time the left arm's going to be on the top. I'm going to draw the elbows up, potentially staying here in this hugging motion to increase the intensity, or stacking the elbows. That left hand is our target for our right, allowing those elbows to raise up to increase the intensity according to what we need, and to allow that top left hand to rotate round to the side again as much as we feel necessary. Then finding some stillness. This is a very deep stretch, really opens up through the back of the body, so making sure that we don't over-intensify it too much. And slowly we can release that top hand again, unravel the arms from that hugging position, have a couple of sways, a couple of swings side to side. Let those arms be nice and relaxed with a few shoulder rolls, a few forward, a few back. And get comfortable as we rotate the body round into a tabletop position. I'm going to want to stack the wrists beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips here. Get nicely settled so we can come into a cat-cow. So we're going to drop, rolling from the tailbone up to the crown of the head, the belly down on the inhale. Exhale to round through the spine, chin comes to chest. Slowly going at our own pace here, inhaling down. Exhale to round through the spine, pushing away from the floor actively, opening through that upper back. Inhaling down. Exhale to round in our cat-cow. Like trying to draw a line with the nose. A nice straight motion here, coming back into a neutral position. We'll move that right knee to the centre of the mat. And allow ourselves to lower down with the right arm extended out to the side. With a straight arm, we can push into that left hand, rotate around, so we're rolling away from the left towards that right shoulder. Left foot might be planted on the floor behind the right leg. It's a great way to open up again through the chest. We could position the head on a block or a brick or a book or blanket to have a bit more elevation there as we rotate round towards that straightened arm. To increase the intensity, a bent arm about 90 degrees to roll into will greatly increase the intensity. So you need to make sure that we're keeping that to a tolerable level. I find it personally a bit too much for me. you might find it's okay. As always, we want to hold this for a few minutes, so trying to make that part of our calculation of what's right for us. This broken wing pose, as it's sometimes known as. And we'll begin to lower out of the pose, so bring that left foot back over the right, bringing the hips back down, slowly coming out because it's an intense opener of that shoulder, coming back into our tabletop position. So restacking those hips and knees, those wrists and shoulders, having some nice circles in the hips, rolling clockwise and anti-clockwise, a few sways side to side as well. We're going to set up for the opposite side. So this time we're going to bring our left knee towards the centre of the mat, extending the left arm out to the side, lowering down to the floor, carefully resting the head on the floor or alternatively onto a block or brick. We can then rotate towards that left hand side, pushing away lightly with the right hand if we need the support, allowing the right leg or foot to come over the top of the left leg if we get the depth to do so. Then as always, finding that stillness, maybe closing the eyes as we can in any of our yin poses to eliminate one of the senses. This might just allow us to go that bit deeper into the meditative style that we're in. beginning to unravel again, bringing that right hand out a bit further to the side, allowing the right foot to come over the top of the left leg, lowering the chest down and then slowly pushing back into that tabletop position. Get some light movement of the hips again, maybe in a circle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Allowing some movement in the shoulders and the hips. Allowing that bit of movement to come out and sort of counteract and rebound from what we've just done in that broken wing variation. Removing any props from in front of us, we can lower down onto our chests. Bring the forehead to the floor, relaxing down. And setting ourselves up for Sphinx. So with this we want to stack the joints again, but this time the elbows and the shoulders. Palms can be positioned down with parallel forearms. Allowing the hands to be palms up or palms down. Doesn't really matter too much. Or stacked in the centre if it's softer for your arms. If we find it's too intense, we can come to resting belly pose with those hands in the centre. Resting the forehead between the gap of the thumb and the first finger on the top hand. The chin can come lightly towards the chest if we are in the Sphinx pose. Trying to keep the shoulders coming back and down lightly to open more through the shoulder blades. Closing our eyes or picking a drishti point, a focal point to bring the gaze to. This could be on the mat or it could be on the floor. Keeping a soft, subtle, gentle gaze on that point. Not intently staring. We want to be quite sleepy in our actions. Then when we're in extension of the spine, we might find that we can take a nice slow inhale and exhale into the belly, as we always want to have that diaphragmatic breath in and out through the nose. And this might be a bit more pronounced, that sensation of the belly breath. Due to that extension of the back, it might just be a bit more noticeable, that expansion as we breathe in, using that diaphragm to draw the air down towards the belly. We can use that again to be more aware of our body, more meditative, and enjoy our Sphinx pose, working from the inside out of our breath. To come out of the pose, we'll bring those hands, palms down the centre of the mat, let the elbows slide forward to rest in belly pose. The forehead can rest on the top hand between thumb and first finger, maybe walking those elbows forward that little bit more to allow a bit of a softer shoulder position. And we're just going to stay here with this lighter extension of the spine so that we're not coming straight and opposing in the opposite direction. Just allowing time for the spine to slowly adjust to a more neutral position after our Sphinx pose. can just bring the head off the hands, bring the hands to the outside of the chest, slowly push back into that tabletop position, stacking knees beneath hips, wrists beneath shoulders. And we'll just introduce that light cat-cow again. So we're extending through the spine, inhaling, dropping the belly, exhaling to round through the spine, chin to chest, just to get some light movement on our sagittal plane, forwards and backwards, along the whole length of the spine here. Just enjoying that light movement. Then we'll swing those legs out towards the side, coming into a seated position to start. Slowly lowering down onto our backs, resting on our spines, hugging those knees towards the chest. We can have a gentle sway from one side to the other, nice and light. Chin can come to chest if we want to exaggerate and accentuate that flexion of the spine, rounding through the back body. Then lowering the head carefully back down, the feet carefully back down. We could place a block beneath the head if we want to just soften through the neck, depending on how we feel there. Arms can come out to the sides. Then we want to have a brick on each side. Again, that could be a brick, it could be a book, it could be a blanket, just within arm's reach in case you want it. The arms can come to about 90 degrees from the body, palms up. Feet come towards the glutes to push carefully into them, shuffling the glutes and the feet to the left hand side of the mat, rolling to the outside of the right hip and letting those knees drop out to the side to a nice reclined twist. If the shoulders are lifting or if it's a bit too intense with those knees touching the floor, we can support with a brick or a book or a blanket beneath that right leg. And if that upper leg groin, so our left leg in this occasion, is giving us a bit of stick, a bit too intense in its sensation, place a brick between there as well. Gaze can be centered to the right, to the left, going with the twist to the right, a bit more yin-like. Keeping a neutral neck might be what feels best, or going opposing the twist to the left might be what we need as well. There isn't a better option, it's very much just what feels right to you. And we don't have to mirror what we did before, so we can just allow whatever feels right, have a play, and then commit to that stillness in our reclined twist. That's something I personally quite enjoy with twisting motions in poses and our breath work, breath awareness. As we breathe with the diaphragm, drawing that breath down into the belly, as it helps to expand in that region. Sometimes it will pull us slightly out of the twist, especially in a reclined twist. But then on the exhale, we can soften, releasing the tension, releasing that tension from that breath that's come down. And sometimes we'll go deeper as a result, but we can feel that sort of ebb and flow, that rise and fall of the body as we inhale and exhale, nice and slowly and softly. And it's these little things that can bring more awareness to our practice, keep us more in the moment, and just learn how our body works that bit more, just through our practice. Throughout the pose, we'll bring our gaze back to center. Let the left hip on this occasion get heavy, bringing the knees back up, removing any props from between the legs once we're there, placing one on each side. Then we can shuffle those hips and the feet back to the center line, taking our time to continue then to the right with the hips, the right with the feet, keeping the chest in center, rolling onto the outside edge of the left hip, letting the knees fall to the left. Again, we could support with a brick, a towel, whatever we have to hand underneath that left thigh, and or place a similar prop between the legs to allow some softness in the groin. The gaze can go with the twist, more yin-like to the left. It can come to center, or it can go and oppose the twist to the right, not having to match what we did before. Taking it as it comes, going with the flow. Then closing the eyes, you can acknowledge and notice that nice, gentle opening. It's more restorative pose of our reclined twist. Then slowly we'll begin to get ready to come out of our reclined twist. We'll bring the gaze back to center, letting that right hip get heavy. The knees will come up as that drops to the floor, removing any props from between the legs. So we can just bring the hips and the feet back to center, hugging the knees towards the chest, gently swaying side to side, some self-massage against the floor. Again, the chin might come up towards the chest just to accentuate and exaggerate that motion as an option, not essential. And lowering the head and the feet back down towards the floor carefully, we set up for our final resting pose of Shavasana. So traditionally, the feet can be as wide as the mat, legs extended out straight. The arms can match that type of motion so that they're splaying away from the body. But we could also go for an option where the feet are a bit wider than the hips, the knees come together with or without a prop between the legs. That might feel better for some of us. The hands, as I say, could be palms up, out to the sides. Could be resting on the belly, one hand belly, one hand chest. The chin can come towards the chest, maybe with support underneath the head if that feels right to you. Slowing the breath down. just enjoying some silence at the end of this practice. And in a moment, this practice is going to close, but I'd just like to thank the 45 people that have subscribed at the time of this video. I really appreciate you all coming along for the journey, enjoying the Yin Yoga classes with me. Hope you've enjoyed this one today. And as part of your Shavasana, you could in fact stay here longer, so feel free to pause the video and stay as long as you feel necessary. But thank you very much. I'm very grateful for you joining me today. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. All the best.